What's up, fight fans? Greetings from the Wrestleverse. It's your host, Billy here.
And this is T-John.
And it's time to take it to the ring.
Take it to the ring.
All right, so on this episode of Wrestlecap, we're going to be reviewing WWE Smackdown. So what do you think of this episode, T-John?
Oh man, it was entertaining. You know, it was a great episode still, but more of the same that we've come to expect. I'd say I'm kind of ready for some new storylines, some new matchups, because it's kind of like they keep playing on the same people, man. There's so many people on this roster. It's time to give some other people some shine. You know what I mean?
That's a really good point. We were kind of talking a little bit before we started and kind of came to the same conclusion. It is a lot of the same, and it's fun in one way that these fighters kind of get to know each other and you get to see some cool reversals and counters. But then it just starts to get a little boring at a certain point, no matter how good they are.
It's been a full month. You know, it's been a full month of the same fight. So I think that, you know, we're going into the next month. It's time to refresh it a little bit. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, still, it was a really great event in Oklahoma City. Roman Reigns, the Usos, and Paul Heyman came out, and it was super weird, but kind of refreshing to see Paul Heyman with the bloodline again.
I know. Is it strange that that's kind of one of my favorite moments of this episode was just getting to see Heyman back out there?
No, man, I think that it was good. I think that it was actually good because it creates more of like that animosity because you know Brock was watching. So for him to be talking so much smack about how Brock Lesnar like basically won't ever be on the same level after all this time that Brock Lesnar's put in. Like, he was really disrespecting him. And I thought it was also cool to hear so many boos directed at Roman Reigns and everybody just off of what happened this past month in WrestleMania and all that. It's just different. It's
the crowd has definitely turned on the bloodline. They were booing. And even at one point, you saw Reigns kind of do like this little stoic look over his shoulder. Like really? Mother. There it is.
Like, there you go right there. I got it.
It's like, you guys are doing that?
Man. I got the clips.
Do me like that.
But it was cool. It's still good though because I'm like I said before, man. I'm tired of him always being the good guy. Like, it's nice to have a little bit of heel to you. You know what I mean? So I think that this will just help his character develop further so that he doesn't get boring. But at the same time, I just want to see where Paul Heyman really goes with this. But how about this like super interesting new development with Goldberg coming out of nowhere, man?
Yeah, you beat me to it. I was gonna get to or bring that up too. You know, Heyman is like the king of backstepping, and then all of a sudden, I heard it. I kind of questioned it for a second. I heard the music. I was like, man, and then you hear the whole crowd start chanting Goldberg, and I kind of get goosebumps. I was, oh, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it really was. And then the fact that he challenged him to a title match. Like, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, dude, he's like super hype about it too. And like, you could just see all like that intensity too. And Roman Reigns was really like, what the heck is going on? Like, he just looked kind of shook for a second.
Yeah, and, he definitely looked shook more than confused. And Goldberg was just kind of pissed. Like, his eye was twitching the whole time, you know, like he was trying to hold back and sticking him.
It was super, super cool. Like that level of intensity, like that we can see between the two, because you know they were actually supposed to fight like 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
And that never happened. So I think that there's always been that what if factor. I mean, Goldberg's a little old now, but you know, that doesn't mean that he can't wrestle. So
still, man, you saw them like square up and they seemed equal size. Even though he's an older guy, he's still like just as wide, just as stout, just as tall as Roman Reigns. And he has that experience level too. I don't think he's old or washed up by any means. He's got that old man strength.
Exactly.
You ever try to arm wrestle your dad?
You're right. I'll give you that. I'll give you that one. But no, he's like, just because of like his legendary status too, he already commands that respect out of people. You know, so I think that just also goes into this fight because there's some more mental that Roman Reigns is going to have to deal with. But I already know what's going to happen. Seth Rollins isn't going to have any of this, and neither is Brock. I can see there being a whole lot of things, and I think that Brock and Seth will probably kind of have a team up to shut Roman Reigns and the Bloodline up. I think that's the next step into theirs. And I've been killing it with these predictions, man. So pay attention because I'm gonna be talking trash if I get that one right in Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, all right. I'll remember that one. We gotta write these predictions down, man. Start getting
Dude, I really
on
have
your
to.
percentage. Call you.
I have to start because I'm on a roll.
Yeah, Tijan Notre Dame, man.
Something like that. I'm gonna get it right. I'm gonna get something together. But
that's cool.
Then we really should. But then we got to see again Ridge Holland and Cesaro with Sheamus. I mean, not Cesaro, but Ricochet.
Yeah, Ricochet
and Sheamus and Cesaro on the side.
Yeah, Cesaro was out there. He kind of had a t-shirt on, kind of taking it easy. That match was pretty quick, man. Between the it was supposed to be a singles match.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that it was quick.
Yeah.
I mean, it was intense. Like, you could see them fighting, and of course, Cesaro and Sheamus on the side, talking because, they had that rivalry going as well.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we've seen this so many times,
Yeah.
This is one of those things that I was like, I wish that it stopped after January or, at least, like, you could have kept it backstage and it would have been a little more interesting. But to make this part of the card was like, we've seen this already.
Yeah.
So
I think the only person that was really into that match was Holland. Like, he was the only one really going all out.
Yeah, but I was surprised that Ricochet got the pin on him. It was a really quick pin, and I mean, look at Sheamus's face.
Yeah.
He was like, "What?"
Like, it was. I'm not surprised. Ricochet's good, man. He's really good. I wasn't too surprised, and he put him down quick.
Yeah, he did, but he's been getting beat down lately. So for him to come back finally and get a win it was impressive to me. And then Sheamus, he just decided right then and there that this needs to be a tag team match. Like, I can't let my boy go out like this. And he just starts beating down Cesaro, like screaming, "I hate you." Like, it was crazy.
Where was Cicero, man? He was asleep in this match. He was not feeling it.
Prepared to fight. Yeah, it wasn't like he wanted to. I don't think he wanted to fight. And I mean, they picked up on it because even Ridge Holland got in there with that huge slam, pinned him. I mean, even with both matches, it still didn't even equal like how long a normal match would be, I don't think.
Yep.
It was pretty quick.
I 100% agree. I think one of the highlights was actually the announcer be like, "Oh man, Sheamus's jacket smells so bad," because he draped it over him and he's like, "Here, hold my shillelagh."
Yeah, he had all
like,
that on him.
This thing stinks.
Yeah, I did notice that too. But I mean,
that was kind of the highlight. That was a boring match, man. It was just a lot of slow. It seemed more like a warm-up match, like something you'd see before the show even started.
Let it go. That's my honest opinion. It's time to let it go. Like these two, especially, they've hyped these two up as a duo so much that it's kind of ridiculous that they've only gotten to fight against the same two people for the entire month.
I couldn't agree
It's time
more.
to see these guys do something else. That's this was one of the more disappointing ones. I think it was the most disappointing match of the night to me, because I was like, come on, man. Like, I'm excited to see Sheamus and Ridge Holland. You built it up. Let's see what else they got.
Yeah. And like I said, it was boring. And you said it in the beginning of the episode, man. It's there's so many more people on this roster. They have a huge list. Let's get a little bit more creative. And and that's how you end up getting better wrestlers too.
Exactly. That's how you put other people in the spotlight. And I mean, I've said this a few times now that, that we can't keep seeing the same faces. We're going to have to start branching out because, this talent is getting older. So we have to get these new faces and give them a chance, or else you're going to be stuck in the same place. And then what's going to make you different than NXT if all we're going to see is new talent, So give these guys a chance, man. It's not helpful, and then we're sitting here bored. So I was kind of annoyed with it, but I mean, there was still some pretty cool moments. I'm not gonna crap on it fully. I'm just saying that there needs to be more. That's all.
Yeah. No, I agree. You still got to see some great hook and scoops. There was an awesome suplex. There was a great counter to a northern suplex. I thought was really smooth. So these are experienced wrestlers, but that's also why I expect more. So
exactly,
that's it. And like I said, this was more of a match of counters and reversals because they kept going up against each other for so long. They kind of know all the tricks. They know their moves. They know their style. So you're starting to see a lot more of counters and reversals, which is only entertaining for so long.
Exactly. But I did like this new format with like them keeping it, what is it, like a singles match, but their teammates are on the outside. I
Mhm.
did like that, especially with the another quick match with Jimmy Uso and Eric of the Viking Raiders. I
This was a
actually
little bit.
enjoyed that match.
Say what?
I actually enjoyed the match. Like I was
Yeah.
like, but it actually was pretty good.
No, it was a good match, but this was another quick one in my opinion. I was really expecting these guys to go hard, but it was a good match.
It really was. I mean, I like how Jimmy. I mean, he put him away, man. Jimmy
Yeah.
Uso put that man away fast, and that was what was impressive about it to me. Like seeing him jump and do his Uso splash, like pointing out, like that was dope, man. Like I honestly thought that the Viking Raiders would be too much for the Usos, but
Yeah, it's
after
what.
this performance, it's kind of like I don't know. The Usos seem like they're still on a different level.
So I was expecting the same thing. The Viking Raiders are definitely up and coming. They're good wrestlers. They're big. They're brutes. I like their style. But the Usos came in with a strategy, and they implemented it, and they did a great job. I think that just has to go with just how much longer they've been wrestling together. So that's the tag team experience versus the individual wrestlers. Even though
Yeah.
I feel like the Vikings had the real advantage, I really did think it was going to go a different way. Uso showed up and they used their head and their skill and their experience to take the win,
Yeah.
you know?
Exactly. It was really impressive. And just like you said, yeah, they have that chemistry, but seeing Jimmy Uso do his own thing and still be able to, take over like that, I mean, it shows how good of a wrestler he is and how they don't really need each other. It was just honestly impressive. I really thought that the Viking Raiders were better than that, and
Yeah.
I hope that it won't be that much of a one-sided affair during Elimination Chamber because that would be disappointing. So I'm sure they're gonna go back to the drawing board and figure it out because that's not gonna fly for what Elimination Chamber is supposed to be.
Yeah. I think they need to go get their heads together and get a better strategy because they do have an interesting dynamic as a tag team, the Vikings. So
Yeah.
I think if they can just get it together and implement some of those key tag team moves that we really didn't get to see in this match.
No, man, I definitely agree, and I think that they also, they underestimated the Usos because they've been like the dominant force so far. Of
I think
course, the
I
Usos gave them the
underestimated them.
shot. I think we all did. I
I
think
did.
we all
I, I
did
I did
because
not see that match going that way.
no, I think that was a very surprising thing, and it was a big reality check. But it's necessary to make sure that Elimination Chamber is what it's supposed to be, and I'm
Yeah.
still hopeful that that's going to be a really good match because
Yeah, I think they're
there's
gonna pull
still
it
a lot of
around.
potential.
Yeah, I think they're gonna pull it around. That'll be a good match for sure. Spend enough money.
Oh yeah, for sure, exactly. And then we got Aaliyah and Natalya again fighting. And
More
I'm
of the
still
same.
not I'm gonna say I'm not as tired of them because it's been so quick. We still haven't seen the real potential of Aaliyah
Yeah,
show. I mean, she really started actually doing her thing. Like she started beating the crap out of Natalya in the ring. But I
yeah,
mean, this was the first time. I mean, no, I'd say Royal Rumble, we kind of got to see what she could do as well. But in a singles match, this was the first time where we actually saw Aaliyah wrestle
yeah,
in some way. You know what I mean? Not just survive Natalya and long enough to win on some casualty. So it was like, okay, we kind of get a glimpse of her for once.
yeah. Well, I mean, so what? This is the third time they've faced off. The first
Yeah.
time she broke the record for the fastest match,
Yep.
Guinness Book World Records. Then the next one, it was almost as fast, a little bit longer. Just Natalia just handed her a butt whooping and couldn't calm down and get out of the corner. Got counted
Yep.
out by the ref. And then this one was also, like you said, you got to see Aaliyah really fight and kind of not only
Yep.
put out an ass whooping, but kind of take a little bit of it too. She's already
Yeah.
proven that.
I
And
mean, as
then
soon as
just
Natalya got her
throwing
outside, that was a wrap. That like, it was a wrap for her.
yep.
Natalya started making it that one-sided affair again, but
And
she's just
Natalya
been so
just
blinded.
she didn't have her head in the game, man. She did not have
Exactly.
ring awareness.
Nope. And it's so weird because she's such a vet. So to see her not have that ring awareness is so weird. And I
Yeah.
mean, she's just been so mad at Aaliyah for what she did, and it's still all of this was Natalya's fault.
Yeah.
So it's so weird to see this kind of like this animosity towards Aaliyah because this is all the situation that Natalya created. But Aaliyah won the match. All she had to do was run back in the ring right before the count out.
Yeah, still kind of another controversial win. A win is a win, don't get me wrong. But that's what happened. Natalya didn't have that ring awareness. The ref counted her out. I don't know what she was thinking. She was just like sitting outside of the ring. She was confused. She didn't even know. Like a fan told her, hey, yeah, you got counted out. And then she screams at the fan, do you know who I am? It's like, you need to, do you know who you are? Get your stuff together.
Exactly, man. I 100% agree. I couldn't have said it any better myself. Just she needs to get her head back in the game because she's letting this rookie really like run her head so much that she's now lost 3 times to her.
Yeah.
And it's all off of controversial wins. It doesn't even like
little back and forth silly stuff and even backstage she was still razzing her too later on in the night, still talking trash.
No, man, it's so strange to see this rivalry, and I kind of want it to end, but I still want to see them have an actual match first.
Yes,
you know, like can we end it off with an actual match? But that's actually coming. But before we get to it, I was super happy to see Drew McIntyre back.
Quicker than I thought, man.
Dude, everybody thought.
You know, it was one thing seeing him in Royal Rumble, which was cool. You know, but I was thinking, it's like, he's got a hurt neck. They probably gave him a couple shots of cortisone. Here's a couple pills. Go out there, go do your job. I wasn't expecting to like come out and start wrestling for real and already be out of rehab and 100%. That's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of addressed it and was just like he refused to not compete. So I love the heart of McIntyre. I hope that it's not gonna backfire on him later. Hopefully he is okay. He seems okay.
Yeah.
But, we're just going to have to play it by ear and see what he brings to the table. And I know the main factor is just that hate that he has for Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss. And, I mean, he addressed that too. And as soon as he did, surprisingly enough, I didn't expect Happy Corbin to show up, but he did. And immediately, started talking trash to him.
I did. I thought for sure he was going to be coming out. I was like, all right, when are these clowns coming out? What's next? And he does. He kind of immediately starts talking trash. And, I mean, he even said that it called him trash. He's like, how's it feel to come back after the quick recovery and get tossed out of the ring like a bag of trash by Brock Lesnar?
Yeah.
And that was kind of a low blow, It's like, dang, man, he's not trash. You can't call him trash.
It was but it surprised me just because I was like, the guy that y'all been running away from. The only reason why you guys are even talking all this smack was because of, y'all thought he was going to be out for good. So for him to come back, I thought we weren't going to see. I thought he was just going to get his piece off, and Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss were going to stay as far away as possible. And that didn't happen, which I was impressed by. But then Madcap Moss kind of tried to sneak in the ring, and McIntyre was not having it. You see him with his sword, just like, nope, stay back there.
And see, that's another thing with this episode. It made it entertaining with that stuff. It was more of like the side backstage stuff that made this episode entertaining. And I love that. He just like blindly lifted that sword and stuck it out. And Madcap was like, whoa, crap. Oh, crap. Hey, take it easy, man. And then he turns and points at Happy, and he's like, you better stay there. I swear to God, if you come in this ring, I'm going to draw blood.
Made him like joke, made him tell a joke and stuff. But we got a comment too, because Earl says SmackDown was a head scratcher. It was 100%. We don't know where it's going to go, man. Yeah. But, I mean, it was an entertaining head scratcher. We can say that. You know what I mean? Like
the joke was good. He's like, come on, tell a joke. I want to hear a joke. And he tells him like some little lame cheesy joke. He's like, no, I want to hear a McIntyre joke. Come on, you've been dressing up like me, making fun of me, and forces him to tell another lame joke. And then he kind of gets pissed, but then laughs it off and then just takes him out.
Hits him with his
with the Claymore kick.
Yeah, that Claymore kick, man. That joint, he left his own feet to deliver that one. That one was devastating. I had never seen him put that much power into it. And
it was awesome. Madcap should have known about it. It's like, come on, dude. You should have seen that coming, man. You really.
Oh, I know that hurt even more though, because he was like, like when you're laughing, so your chest is already like in out, and then just boom. And then he just turned his attention to Happy Corbin and it was like, I'm gonna make y'all lives hell for the rest of your days. And like you can see it, like Happy Corbin's like, oh God, and he's just pointing. McIntyre's just pointing at him with that sword, like it's a wrap for you, man.
Yeah, he realized at that moment he probably poked the wrong bear.
Yeah, they bit off more than they could chew for sure. Yeah, I think that all this could have been avoided if they just kept it a clean match when they first lost. I mean, we saw McIntyre backstage right before they like did what they did and injured him. He was even giving their props.
Yeah.
And like, giving them their praise for a good match. And they ruined that. So now they're gonna have to pay. They're gonna have to see this guy, man, who's gonna like clearly destroy them whenever they step in the ring.
The guy, the Scottish Warrior is the perfect name for Drew McIntyre. I'm a big fan. I kind of remember seeing him in NXT too. Like I got a figure of him right back there. He's one of my favorites, and he's just that, man. He's a Scottish warrior. If he was born 1,000 years ago, he'd be leading armies, destroying people. Like conquering land. He's just he's huge and
definitely that. I definitely agree with that. He's not one to be messed with, and so for them to really do what they did, that was not the best way to come out. I mean, at least it did its job because we're still talking about them, and they're still, they're still pretty good wrestlers. I can't deny that. But going against somebody as dangerous as McIntyre, pretty big mess up.
Fast, precise, and he moves like a guy that big should not be moving that quick. And be able to do the stuff he does.
I definitely agree. And then what else did we get to see? Oh yeah, after that, Sami Zayn, of course, had to interrupt the Jackass Forever red carpet, and Johnny Knoxville was not happy about it.
Dude, he crashed it. He crashed it for real. And he was kind of being a dick about it.
Dude, I loved it. I'm not gonna lie. If there was ever a Sami Zayn moment that I liked, it was this one. Because this one was actually something that he should have bended instead of doing all that like silliness in the ring. I think this is something that he should have did, and it just worked out, man. It was entertaining. It was fun. We got to see Johnny Knoxville hit him with that cattle prod again.
Like 5 or 6 times on the way out, right in the butthole. He zapped him a few times. Like, get out of here, get out. Yeah. But I mean, Zayn was speaking the truth though. He's like, no, you come over here and ruin my show. I'm coming over here and ruining your show. And he kind of stood his ground
with it. Yeah, I had no problem with what happened. And that kind of just led into Sami Zayn finally, annoying the officials enough to get that match with Shinsuke Nakamura in 2 weeks as well. Just like, as you can see from their faces, they're like, okay, fine, just get your match, get your like whatever rematch, and leave us alone.
Well, yeah, Sonya right off the bat, she tells him, was like, yeah, let's go next week. He's like, oh, next week? Well, no, that's too quick. I still have electricity flowing through my body. It's like, you lame. I got to heal. And then they announce what it's going to be the 18th, I believe is the match.
Yeah, so he's finally going to have his match so he can finally stop crying and booing. And I mean, I don't see how he's going to win, but we're going to find out. I'm just glad to see it finally happen so he can stop complaining. But if it doesn't go his way, he's going to complain anyway.
Well, Sami Zayn's a good wrestler. It's going to be a good match.
That he is for sure. And then Natalya followed up with it and had her own demands where she was like, I'm tired of these outside factors, like basically giving Aaliyah the win. I want a pin or submission only match. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, she is kind of running her mouth like it's not her fault, but it's all her fault. So
it's 100% her
I mean,
fault.
if that's what it's going to take to kind of get her attitude in check and either one, get Natalya to step up, or two, shut her up, then I'm about it. So I'm glad she said it. And I had a feeling that was going to come too. We're going to see like a no DQ match because that keeps happening, so we'll see what happens.
No, my question is just, does that mean it's no DQs? Because that changes it a little bit too.
It wasn't said, but I would like to see that. I think that's what it's going to take for them to finally handle this.
Yeah, I think that would be a really, really good development is if they make it just a full on no holds barred, only pin, only submission match, because then they'll finally get all that anger out. We can finally see who is like the true, winner between them, and then we could be done with it.
Yeah, no excuses.
And I think that's what it's going to take. Exactly, no excuses at all. I like it. Yeah. I like it. I think that should be the direction that they go to.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
send it out there, fight fans.
Yeah, man, put it in the universe. Let these people know, because man, like I said, we need to have these new developments.
Well, and that'd be a good match, man, because it's going to end up all over the place. It might spill into the crowd, and then especially with Natalya having that temper and kind of built up frustration.
But now Aaliyah's starting to have that temper too, and that's what I like. That's why I'm like, that might actually be something there, just because that temper is like starting to rub off on the more mild tempered Aaliyah. So that's why it would actually be more of a decent match than I would have originally thought. Then though,
she's still kind of getting comfortable. She's pretty new. She's pretty fresh. She just came up from NXT, so I think she was a little starstruck there for a while. We saw that a few times.
Yeah, I think she's done with it now. I think after Royal Rumble, all that's done. What a good way though to be, get all your jitters out, getting into Royal Rumble, like fighting and beating or getting beat down by all the people that you like, we're so happy to see. That's finally out of your system. Now it's time to make your mark.
Yeah, do your job.
Yeah, exactly. Do your job. So let's see what she can do, man. I'm excited to see it. I'm also excited, or not really excited, because I still want another Naomi Sonya Deville match. I'm sure we're gonna get it, because Sonya Deville kind of ruined Naomi's shot again at Royal Rumble. But
so she still has some beef to settle. It's like they finally squashed it. She was in good space, and then that dirty move pulling her out and face planting her on the apron at Royal Rumble, it just stirred the pot again.
Yep, that was it for her. But Sonya Deville kind of ducked the wreck and was like, well, look, you're going to face Charlotte Flair next week. So here you go. Like, leave me alone. Let me, don't fight me. You have a match with her. And
so I think
Naomi
she pulled that.
Like, I don't believe you.
I think she pulled that right out of her butt right in that moment. Yeah. I didn't see that coming.
Oh, yeah, she did. I don't think anybody did. But it's going to be, I'm expecting another BS match that Sonya Deville is going to somehow come out and like pull it towards Charlotte Flair. I can see that happening right now, because there's no clause that makes Sonya Deville stay away. So there's no point in this match. This is the third one, isn't it? This is the third time that we're going to see them, and it's still not going to be fair.
Yeah. And I think this is the first time it's actually for a title match, though, right?
Oh, yeah. No, yes. The last two were contenders match. This one is an actual title match. Oh, wait, since we just talked about it, Earl says Natalya can't beat Aaliyah. That's an interesting take. I don't know. That's bold.
Again, I think if Natalya gets her head in the right space and really gets a good strategy and comes out there with a plan and implements it, it's going to be a different story, because she definitely has the size advantage. She has the experience advantage. And she's good. She's strong. So if she can kind of implement and bring all of those ingredients together, that's a competitor. That'd be a good match.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, that's an interesting take. I think that Natalya is the better wrestler just off of experience alone. But I mean, this could be a way for Aaliyah to make a name for herself early, is to take out somebody as experienced and as such a name as Natalya. So it can go either way. But I wouldn't say that Natalya can't beat Aaliyah that much. I wouldn't go as to say
that's
that.
bold, man.
That's too bold. Yeah, you're crazy for that one. I don't agree with that at all. But moving on to another appearance from Sonya Deville. Now this was at the end, but these are all developments that were happening. So
and that's
Sonya
mainly
Deville
what this episode was.
Flair, yeah, it was just developments. But I mean, I still enjoyed it. And this was actually one of the more interesting things that happened, because I didn't really expect what was happening. It was a lot of twists in these, because you didn't if you tuned out early, you would have a whole different expectation for what's about to happen at WrestleMania.
Yeah, it really kind of shifted gears.
Yeah. So Sonya Deville talked to Charlotte Flair in the ring, telling her basically, we're getting word that Ronda Rousey has picked her opponent, and it's not you. It's going to be Becky Lynch.
Yep.
So I'm giving you the spotlight to pick your opponent right now. And so before she does, Charlotte Flair has to do what Charlotte Flair does and talk down on everybody else, tell them, of course she's not going to pick me. I'm on a whole other level than both of them. So if she wants to fight for the number 2 spot, she's not ready for the main event, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Even made like a unemployment joke about Kansas.
Yeah. About OKC. Yeah. I liked it though. I kind of like how like some of the fighters, or like even Paul Heyman made like a joke trashing OKC. This time it was actually funny. It wasn't like the cheesy bad mouthing like how the Miz normally does. These were actually kind of like, it kind of made me chuckle a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
They were jokes. They weren't insults. Yeah. They were clever jokes, and
exactly.
They made me laugh. It's insulting. So
good.
Don't get me wrong.
And then you got to see Ronda Rousey, of course, come out. She's not going to take any of this nonsense.
Yeah, she kind of comes out and picks a fight.
Oh, yeah, she was ready. She was like, first off, I didn't say anything. So all this he said, she said, like, what is that about? I didn't say any of this. So who are you guys to, automatically assume who I'm going to pick? I never made an announcement.
Yeah, which was kind of, I was like, whoa. Was Sonya Deville kind of stirring the pot, making some drama?
I think
she's turning it into a really shisty manager.
Yeah, I mean, look, Earl just said it best again. The Sonya Deville jacket thing needs to go away immediately. It does, bro.
Yeah.
It definitely does. I 100%. That's a take that I can agree with, Earl. I got you there. I'm on your side. Definitely fire her. Make her just a wrestler. She's been abusing her power from jump. And I don't think this would have happened. I think, honestly, though, this was needed to give it a little more, like, electricity. Because now we're going to see Ronda Rousey face Charlotte Flair. And that's going to be a really, really dope WrestleMania event for sure.
Yeah, and Charlotte looked a little shook, man. She ended up like, she picked a fight. What'd she say? She insulted her. I think she said, she lifted up her
baby.
Belt. It was like, this is right my here. Baby.
Yeah,
and it's prettier than your baby.
Yours. Oh, man, fighting words.
Dude, she just lost it. You saw Rousey just like her whole face changed. She took off the jacket and then just dropped her right into an armbar.
Yeah, no, man. So Ronda Rousey actually tried to go at Charlotte Flair, and Sonya Deville was like, "You can't do that. I'm in charge." Blah blah blah. Like whatever, and
pushed her out of the way.
Yeah, it was like, move out of the way. I can. Oh wait, said it again. Ronda's mic skills are horrible. She's not meant for that, man. Nobody that goes in the MMA really is. Yeah, like they're about the hands. They don't have to talk. Yeah. She should let her hands talk for her. But I'm
happy enough seeing a pretty lady that can beat legitimate ass. So she doesn't have to be good on the mic too. I'm plenty fine seeing her just whoop some ass. Look at that. Yeah, that's great. Fireman awesome. Carry right into a slam.
Exactly, Keith. I couldn't agree more. Look, Rousey's tough. That's what I was actually about to say. Was her Olympic judo skills, the UFC pass, all that is exactly why she's such a superstar. So that's the only reason why she can slam an official and not get fired. I'm gonna fire her. She is the talent. Everybody's watching Ronda Rousey. Everybody couldn't wait for Ronda Rousey to come back. Yeah. So the fact that she was able to give Sonya Deville a well-deserved ass whooping and nobody could do anything about it, because if Naomi did it, we probably wouldn't see Naomi again. But Ronda Rousey's on a whole different level. And so we were actually able to see her like get kind of the beating she deserves, and she wasn't able to escape it for once.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to see, and the crowd loved it too, man. We're all kind of pissed off.
I was going crazy
the bill right now.
Everybody is, man. So I mean, this is going to be a really, really good match. I can't wait for it. It's just going to be very interesting to see these two finally fight, man. I'm excited for it. I think there's a lot of intensity. Before? I don't think so. I can't remember them fighting. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think that they have. But I mean, these two are already legends. Charlotte Flair is of course a legend, and Ronda Rousey is a legend in her own right. So for these two to face off, this is going to be an extremely fun match to watch.
And Charlotte Flair is really going to have to adjust her style of fighting and wrestling. Because if she tries to go out Ronda the way she does with a lot of other ladies, she's going to get destroyed. She's not going to allow it. Like, come at me with one of those fancy moonsaults. I'm just going to kick you in the face.
Yeah, she's just going to flip it. That judo's going to come into play, and she's just going to end up breaking a few ribs. That's all that's going to happen. But then we got to see Shinsuke Nakamura and Jinder Mahal fight. And of course, Rick Boots with the awesome intro as usual. I love it, man.
I think I thought somebody was messing with him. Like, they unplugged his guitar. He was sitting there trying to play, and it wasn't working. Yeah. Came in a little bit later, but it's a great entrance. I love it. And then Jinder Mahal, man, the guy is a animal. Dude. Look at the size of it. He's just built different, man.
He really is. This was going to be a big challenge for Shinsuke, and then it only got worse when Sami Zayn kind of interrupted just to run over to the commentators and continue to talk trash. But I'm pretty sure that got into Shinsuke's head a little bit. Like, there's no way
a little bit, man. But in my opinion, it's like Zayn kind of ruined that match, man. He was just talking non-stop, man. He would not shut up to the point to where I couldn't even concentrate on the match. And it was it was a quick match, but it was a good match.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I definitely turned the volume down a little bit.
Oh, did you? I should have. Focus. Damn.
Yeah, it's like I can't focus, man, because he's just talking too much. Dude, like, they could have cut his mic a little bit. Yeah. No, I definitely turned it down a little. But like you said, this was a very quick match. But man, this was a tough match for Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, dude. See, look, Jinder Mahal's really getting into great shape, man. He's really coming into his own. He just looked on a whole nother level, man. He's looking great. He's putting on a lot of size, and he's always been strong, but Jesus, man, I don't know what he's taking, man, but it seemed like every single vein in his body was popping out. He came out ready to like juice up and kill a guy.
Yeah, and Shinsuke doesn't look anything like that. So I was like, this might be it for him. I don't see him getting through this, but he did. He hit him with his finisher, man, and that joint is something serious. Put him out. That Kinshasa finisher.
Yeah, man. He nailed it. Perfect. He caught him like right on the chin. He was done.
Oh my God, it was awesome. That was a really great finish. So, and then now we got to see him talk a little more trash to Sami Zayn, put the belt out in front of him, like, come on and get it if you want it.
Yeah, so I'm Sami was standing up on the announcer's table, talking some trash.
I couldn't get a good picture of it. I was so annoyed because I really wanted it and I couldn't get it.
Yeah, it was good. I'm excited they finally get to face off. That was a quick match. Nakamura made pretty quick work of Jinder Mahal. But even though there's a size difference, I mean, it's that style of wrestling over there. NJP, it's like they're different. They don't look like these big muscle bound men, but they are strong and tough. And they wrestle for like an hour each match. You talk about great physical endurance. And that's where Shinsuke's from. That's where he grew up. He's hard
so
style
he was
wrestling.
Able to take his ass whooping, like you said, and endure it, keep going, and it showed. Yeah, that's why he's a champ. But then we got to see Big E and Kofi Kingston versus Los Lotharios. I'm just so happy to see the New Day back together again.
Yeah.
It's always a fun time, man.
Man, Big E, he seems to be loving it just as much. When they came out, Kingston's always a lot of fun. He pumps up the crowd in a different way. You could tell he just loves his job. He loves what he does. And then Big E, he just seemed like super happy to be out there and just kind of working the crowd and saying what's up and just being kind of happy and goofy. It's a fun entrance.
Yeah, man, for sure. I think that it was still Big E is a game changer, man. He's always been a game changer, but this was always this is just an exciting match. I had a lot of fun with it. It was just entertaining from the jump. Los Lotharios did what they had to do, was cornering Kofi Kingston, trying to keep him away from Big E. And of course, that is the strategy, man. If you're going to have a chance, keep Big E away because we know what's going to happen once Big E gets in that ring. He was just dancing over him, balls in the face. Oh my God, it was.
So the first time I ever saw, I just got caught up on a lot of their matches, and the old school New Day was fantastic, and that's kind of like where I fell off for a little bit. And that little dance thing that he does, the first time I saw that, I was like, what is he doing? I'd punch that man so hard
right.
It's like, what do you? But now it just makes me laugh. I kind of look forward to it. The first time I saw it, I was like, man, that's totally disrespectful. Not cool, man. I'd punch you right in the dick. Not cool. And now it's like, I can't wait for it. It makes me laugh. I think it's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah, Keith said he likes it too. And I see your comments, man. I'm going to get back to those 2 questions at the end. But I agree with that. And Earl with another bad take, bro. What are you doing? Why does it need to end?
What?
No, it doesn't need to end. The New Day never ends.
Yeah.
The New Day is great. We finally got them back. Don't take it from me. I'm super happy to see them. And like going back to the match though, this was super entertaining. It was super fun.
Yeah. This was my favorite.
It was my favorite too. Like you just see all these high flying, the chemistry, seeing them set up each other to like really put a hurt on each other. I mean, even Kofi got another like super big bomb, like drop kick to the chest. Like this match could have gone either way. It was really entertaining, and props to Los Lotharios for putting up such a fight.
Well, it was great being able to see a lot of that lucha style wrestling, a lot of those aerial moves, some very interesting tag team work where I think at one point they had Kingston stretched out and he like leapfrogged over his head and landed on his stomach and like this split, some really creative stuff. And then also seeing, the kind of more, I guess, modern American tag team style with New Day. And their name kind of says it all. It is a new day. It's a new type of tag team. You have the high flyer and then you just have that big brute, and they kind of put their own spin on it. And it was a ton of fun seeing these 2 different styles really go at it. And it was very entertaining. This was my favorite match of the night.
Yeah, I'm glad this was the last match that we got to see. I'm glad at how it ended. Of course, Big E with his finisher and that frog splash that kind of helped it from Kofi Kingston. It was just a really, really great way to end it. I loved this match. It was fun. I need more of this. Like give me more of these electric matches.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. The pace was up the whole time. You got to see some well executed creative moves and technique and style. And it was a great match, and I think just seeing the New Day together it's just fun, man. The last few weeks it's neat,
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. But all right, I think it's time to do these ratings, man.
Yeah. Kind of threw me off again, and we finished the episode with the Charlotte Flair and Ronda stuff. That was at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's overall, I think this episode, I don't want to say backstage stuff, but a lot of like the promo stuff, like the Drew McIntyre, Heyman in that purple suit that he was wearing, and just I just love hearing Heyman and seeing him backstep. Like he is the professional backstepper and kind of spinner. He's like the sultan of spin, man. He really is just so good. All of that stuff was more entertaining than the actual wrestling in this episode. And that's kind of disappointing. I have to give it's a really close 3. I don't want to give it a 2 for like a what, but it's a really, really close 3. Yeah. You still got it. But like I said, the promo stuff and backstage stuff and side stuff should not be more entertaining than the wrestling matches. And the only reason why it gets the 3 is because of that last tag team match. It was great. That was very entertaining. That match alone, I would give a solid 4.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you took the words right out of my mouth. That was literally how I felt, and I'm pretty sure everybody else did. I mean, Earl said, it was okay.
Yeah.
C- effort. I 100% would give this a C-. It really wasn't that good, man. The promos were great, and if it wasn't for that New Day match kind of saving it, it really it was a sleeper. It was not good. And
it was boring.
Yeah, it was boring. It was boring. So
when you see Drew McIntyre and Happy and Madcap being one of the more entertaining moments of the night, there's a problem.
That's a big problem. So, I'm glad that, this will be a wake-up call to like some people that are in charge of like these matchups. I'm hoping, because the crowd didn't seem that into it either. Everybody was kind of just like, and that's not what you want. You definitely don't want people not engaged. So I'm hoping that they kind of get the slap in the face that they need to wake up and, you know, keep us entertained, because they did such a good job last month. You know, January was amazing. It was so fun. But it's like riding a roller coaster, man. The more you ride the same ride, you're gonna get bored of it. And that's where we're at now.
That's
you
a
have
great
to give
metaphor.
us some new
That's a perfect
stuff,
way
man.
to put it.
Yeah, it was fun while
it
lasted. It was absolutely great. But you know, there's all these other attractions. It's time to, like, you know, bring them up.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more, man. You know, this that last match is what kind of pulled it through a little bit.
No, I agree. So I wanted to get back, before we ended it, I wanted to get back to Keith's 2 questions that he had, and I'm gonna put them up. So he wants to know, how is MJF going to be proud of his victory on Dynamite, and how did Sami Zayn invade Johnny Knoxville's movie premiere? So I know you're more into the AEW scene than I am, so I'll let you answer the first one.
Yeah. So the MJF and CM Punk beef has been building for a while. I'm sure you remember CM Punk. He was in UFC for a while. So controversial win. Not only did he have like some tape or rope or something hidden in his panties and kind of snuck up behind him and choked him out. The ref didn't see it and put him to sleep. Then after the match, he dropped it and ref saw it. So he's like, nope, match back on. CM came back, kind of whooped up a little bit. Wardlow, who's just like this big, massive dude, he came out and like real sneaky gave him that big championship, the wrestling championship ring that MJF has. And he hid that in his pants, and last second just clocked CM Punk and laid him out. Ref didn't see the ring, and that's how he got the win. So he not only did he cheat once, but he cheated twice, and then he had somebody else come out to help him cheat. So he had a contingency plan, a plan C, and all to cheat to win. So he's proud of the win because he's dirty, he's cheap, he doesn't care. A win's a win, and I think he's just happy he got to beat his idol. You know, CM's been kind of razzing him, like, you grew up with my poster on your wall. You're a fanboy. Like, so he's proud because he got to win. He doesn't care if he had to cheat.
Yeah. I'd say, how did Sami Zayn get to go backstage? Because he's Sami Zayn, man. Yeah. That's how.
That's what I was gonna say. So what are you talking about? Did he walk back there? He was well dressed. You walk into an event like that, like you own the place, you'd be surprised how far you can get. I've snuck backstage a few times. You just got to walk around like you own the place.
Yeah, man. So I mean, that's my two. Like that's my only piece about it. My last comment on it is, I mean, they need to prove that, you know, they're ready to give us more, you know, for these. For what's upcoming. It's been too exciting.
Yeah, especially for a Friday night SmackDown. Like this is your big deal. You know, and at one point the announcers were even talking trash, saying, "Oh, Raw, that show sucks." It's like, well, one, it's your organization, and two, right now they've been a little bit more entertaining than you. So
clearly they need to win back Earl, because he's not holding back.
Man,
like, WWE doesn't care about the quality.
Man.
I mean,
there's validity to that.
I kind of have to agree after that one, man, because they started out good, but if they're gonna keep doing the same thing, it's not gonna, you know, that's not real quality, man. So
yeah, especially when you have great competition. Earl, you know, you have amazing stuff out there like the AAA and ROH, MLW, GCW. There's a lot of stuff out there.
Oh, dude, GCW last night blew it out the water. I can't wait to talk about it, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about that one.
So that's in WWE needs to step it up in a big way because there's a lot of competition out there.
Yeah, because if we're going tit for tat for last night, GCW killed it compared to what Friday night SmackDown brought.
I saw the tease for the fight cards. I haven't watched it yet. I'm definitely going to check it out.
Dude. Yeah, no. Okay, so no, you got to tune into my recap then, because that's coming at 11. So anybody that wants to tune in and watch it with me, bro, or like, you know, Keith, Earl, y'all clearly have a lot to say too. Tune in.
Yeah, I'm going to jump on.
Some talk with me, because that one was great. I had a great time with that. So that's something that I really can't wait to talk about.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's it for this episode. You know, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see here, please take a moment to like, share, subscribe, of course. Leave some comments, guys. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see.
Yeah, man. you know, definitely leave those comments, man, because as you can see, we're here to, you know, talk about it. We want to be involved. So anything that y'all are looking forward to, let us know, man. Until next time, though, this has been another rendition of, you know, Take It to the Ring. I'm T-John.
Billy here. Don't stop believing.
Keep it real, guys.